Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here and you love cars, then go ahead and subscribe to the channel, because that is exactly what this channel is about. Inspiring you guys and helping you appreciate and learn about cars in a way that I think every car guy should. You might be on the edge of your seat for this one, guys, because today we're talking about the Mclaren P1. After the F1 had its time in the spotlight during the 90s and early 2000s, McLaren began to work on another hypercar. It wasn't going to be easy to match the reputation of the F1. McLaren wanted a car that would be an amazing road car, but could transform into a track-capable hypercar in an instant. Top speed was not the goal of the P1, and its design was primarily shaped for aerodynamic performance, meaning that the P1 was engineered first, then the body was shrink-wrapped around it. Lightness was mandatory. Everything had a purpose for either cooling or aerodynamics. The P1 was debuted at the 2012 Paris Motor Show. McLaren had planned for 375 units to be produced, and its competitors included the Ferrari and the Porsche 918 Spider. The P1's body was built around a central one-piece monocage chassis made entirely out of carbon fiber, the same that you would see in the McLaren 12C. McLaren stated that the P1's carbon fiber monocage is 5 times stronger than top-grade titanium and twice the stiffness of steel. The total curb weight of the P1 is 3,411 pounds. The P1 was truly built and developed in the wind tunnel and was designed and constructed with the help of F1 technology. The P1's chassis was tested and mastered until it was perfect, and then the body was shrink-wrapped around its frame. The chassis is light and agile, and it is easy and comfortable to drive, but when you put it in race mode, it's a totally different story. One of the things that I love about the P1 and that I think makes it so different from other hypercars is the experience when it changes from road to track mode. The P1, while in its road mode, behaves like a Cadillac. The suspension soaks up all the bumps, and the car hums along at 34 miles per gallon while in its EV setting. But once you hit the switch and engage track mode, the car transforms. The suspension drops 50 millimeters, and the rear wing raises 30 centimeters at a 29-degree angle and provides 1,300 pounds of downforce at 160 miles per hour. It's so crazy that in 30 seconds and a press of a few buttons, the P1 becomes illegal to drive on the streets of most countries. The P1 is powered by a 3.8-liter V8 engine with 2 huge turbochargers and an electric motor. The V8 produces 730 horsepower and the electric motor makes around 170, resulting in a 900 horsepower hypercar. Most hybrid supercars these days have the engine driving the rear wheels and the electric motor driving the front wheels. This is not the case with the P1. Both units drive only the rear wheels, and the electric motor serves to eliminate turbo lag. The way that this works is mind-blowing, and is just one of the reasons why the P1 is so technologically advanced and outrageous. As the driver hits the gas pedal, the turbos start to spool up. In a normal turbocharged engine, the driver would be experiencing what is referred to as turbo lag, or what I like to call sluggish snails. This is the phase where turbos are still spooling up and are not providing full boost. In the P1's case, the electric motor kicks in right as the gas pedal is pressed, tricking the engine into thinking that the turbos are at full boost, meaning that for the P1, turbo lag is non-existent and power and acceleration are immediately positive and stupid. The P1's transmission is an Italian-made Grazioso 7-speed dual clutch. This was specifically designed to accommodate both the V8 and the electric motor, powering the rear wheels simultaneously. What you hear next about the brakes on the P1 will literally send the gears turning in your head into absolute confusion and madness. The P1's brakes needed to dissipate 50% more energy than the brakes on the F1. So McLaren did what anybody would do. They made the rotors out of ceramic carbon, which is only used for space rockets, and they infused them with a substance called silicon carbide, the hardest material known to man. The carbon ceramic brakes can withstand a temperature of 300 degrees Fahrenheit more than any other carbon brake out there. It literally beats the brakes off anything else. The P1 also uses a little feature called brake steering, which McLaren developed. When the P1 enters a turn, the brake on the inner side front wheel engages slightly, helping the P1's nose turn tighter into the turn. On the exit of the turn, that same wheel's brake grips ever so slightly, pushing the torque to the outer wheel, helping improve traction and acceleration. The suspension of the P1 is one of the most advanced systems ever developed. The Race Active Chassis Control System, or RCC, controls spring rate and the dampening of each wheel by using independent hydropneumatic control. The suspension system helps the P1 achieve flat cornering. The RCC is capable of lowering and raising the car during different operations. The P1's exterior is stunning, and its curves and intricate details are admired by whoever looks at it. McLaren designed the P1 so that every curve, every vent, every angle, every design feature has a purpose. There is truly nothing there just for looks. Everything is there for a reason, and is essential for downforce, performance, and downright speed. The body is only made up of 5 body panels to reduce weight of extra bolts and glue. The wheels are made of ultralight military-grade aluminum. The glass is thinner than most cars, except for the rear glass above the engine bay. Air travels and is split 3 ways once it hits the front bumper. 2 vents on either side of the bumper channel air to radiators right in front of the front wheels. A center duct in the bumper houses a 3rd radiator. Air then makes its way down the side of the P1, where it's channeled into a pocket next to the rear wheels, as it then moves to the engine bay, providing cooling. The rear diffuser is shaped so that it creates an area of low pressure underneath the car, sucking the rear wheels down even harder to the track surface. There is also an air scoop at the top of the P1 that provides even more cooling to the 900 horsepower engine. The P1's rear wing at high speeds uses Formula 1 drag reduction system to change the angle to 0 degrees, reducing drag by 32%. This function can be activated with the push of a button on the left side of the P1 steering wheel. The P1's interior is made completely out of carbon fiber, but the carbon fiber is exposed because the lacquer that is added to give it that glossy look would have added unnecessary weight. The trim is covered in Alcantara. McLaren designed special ultra-thin carbon fiber lightweight seats specifically for the P1. Each weighs 32 pounds. The P1 is most of the technologically advanced hypercars of all time. The sheer insanity of it is so ridiculous that there are no words to describe it. The attention to detail and the time spent on developing it is next level. After researching it, I'm not surprised that it beat both the LaFerrari and the Porsche 918 on the track. The P1 is a testament to McLaren's pure brilliance and will go down in history as one of the greatest hypercars ever built. I'm sure the F1 would be proud. Thanks guys for tuning in to this episode of 0 to 60. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think about the P1 in the comment section below, as well as which cars you'd like us to cover next. I'll see you guys in the next one.